What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another review. This time we're going to be taking a look at Leatherface, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3. Overall, I think this is a very underrated sequel in the Chainsaw franchise. I really like Chainsaw 3. I'm going to tell you what I like about it, what I don't like about it, and try and make this review as quick as I can. So, my positives. First of all, I love the Chainsaw family in this time around. You have Viggo Mortensen as Tex, and he's great. You have Joe Unger as Tinker, who is my favorite character in the whole movie, and then you have Tom Everett as Alfredo, my second favorite character in this movie. These three are just chewing up the scenery whenever they're on screen. They're over the top with the craziness, and they are just so much fun to watch. I love seeing Viggo Mortensen act as a complete nut job when he's Tex. I love Joe Unger as Tinker. I quote his lines are so memorable and so quotable, and I just love Unger's performance. He just has that southern drawl. It's like, oh, so beautiful and glow. He sounds like a young Sam Elliott, pretty much to me. And then you have Tom Everett as Alfredo, who is just a walking, talking, just catchphrase. He is hilarious. So yeah, Chainsaw Family cast, they're great. I think R.A. Hayloft is a very underrated Leatherface, and I actually like how he portrays Leatherface as a rebellious teenage father, because this movie implies that the little girl that's living in the chainsaw house in this movie is Leatherface's daughter. So he's just a teenage dad trying to make a living for his kid. He's a single pop. Give Leatherface a break. But I like it. Because Mahane lost Leatherface as opposed to the other two Leatherfaces. This was more aggressive. You can see that he's more aggressive, and he doesn't really take the direction from his family as much. Like there's this scene where Tinker tries to punish Leatherface by throwing his Walkman in the stove, and Leatherface was like, "Nah, motherfucker," and he forces Tink to get it out with his good hand because Tink has like a hook for a hand. So I like how they progress the Leatherface character in its own way. And not only that, Mahaloff, he's just very physically imposing. When he's doing his thing with the chainsaw, he looks scary, he looks vicious. I like it a lot. It's good stuff. Now we get on to another big positive of mine. Ken Foray as Benny. Ken Foray is awesome as Benny. I love him in this movie. I like his character as that of a survivalist, and the movie really picks up steam once Benny comes on. Once Benny comes on the screen, and that much needed charisma for a hero is actually on screen, because while I think William Butler and Kate Hodge, they're not bad in this movie per se. Their acting can be a little dodgy here and there, but their characters of Ryan and Michelle, they're just very stock, very generic, and they're very forgettable. They don't really do much. This movie really, like I said, the movie really picks up steam once Benny comes on. Once Benny comes on the screen. Not only that, the first half of this movie, before the shit happens, it's kind of slow. Very very slow pacing. It doesn't. It's kind of like the first, I don't know, I want to say 20-25 minutes can be kind of a drag. Then once, they go to Alfredo's gas station, once he shoots Tex, who is all staged as a trap, and once they start to get chased down the road by Tink in his big truck, that's when this movie really picks up steam. That's when it really gets going. And from that moment on, it's just boom, entertainment altogether. And I think the now now acting, casting, good stuff. It's great for the most part. I like it a lot. The production value in this movie, it's nothing fancy, but nothing horrible. I thought Jeff Burr as a director did a fine job. He did okay. Cinematography in this movie, nothing spectacular, but nothing horrible. It's decent. Special effects by K&B, I like it a lot. I like the look of Leatherface. I like how the mask looks very aged and very, very leathery. It's got a cool look to it. I like the look of the chainsaw house in this movie. It's got a very intimidating look to it as well. I like the little references you have to the previous Chainsaw films. The little girl has a Sally doll, which is a reference to Sally from the first movie. So, yeah, like, despite my criticisms of this movie, I do really, really like Leatherface Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3. I do hold it in a pretty good regard as being a very solid sequel and a good, somewhat continuation of the franchise. Though I'm not a big fan how they kind of washed away too, because I love to. But For Chainsaw 3, it goes back to the roots of number 1. It's a little more. This movie's more goes more for that scary tone, but it incorporates that dark humor in a lot of places, particularly with the character of Alfredo, who is fucking hilarious in this movie. Oh, my favorite scene when Alfredo's got to be the end where he's just like, "It's knock knock down in Lubbock, and I'm back." Sorry, you gotta watch YouTube Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3 Alfredo scenes. Believe me, Tom Everett in this movie is awesome. He chews the scenery, and you can tell this man is having a ball playing Alfredo. So yeah, those are my quick thoughts on Leatherface Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3. I'm overall gonna give it a solid 8 out of 10. This is a good Chainsaw sequel, not as good as number 2, but for what it is, it's enjoyable, it's entertaining. You have a good cast of actors who are having a good time. You have Ken Foray being a badass. You have Viggo Mortensen, Joe Unger, and Tom Everett just chewing the scenery and clearly having fun. And you have a badass Leatherface and R.A. Hayloft. And you can't ask more with the Chainsaw movie. So 8 out of 10 for Leatherface Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3. Well, those are my quick thoughts on TCM 3. Let me know yours in the comment sections down below. Do you like it? Do you hate it? I would like to know. Like the video and subscribe, and I will check you back next time for more.